Showing since you told me about it.
I'm Super Dave on the mic with Mike supporting biz and nonprofits. That's what it is. ESPN Radio on the air. Synapse Networking, because we care.
I'm on the mic with Mike, and I approve Super Dave's message.
Children's Hospital Foundation, the Cameron K. Gallagher Foundation, Jacob's Chance, Trinity Hospital.
Over 40,000 minutes of broadcast time donated.
Beyond Boundaries, the Virginia Down Syndrome Association.
Nonprofits telling their story, maximizing their impact.
Richmond Region Tourism, the Chesterfield Chamber of
Creating
Commerce.
partnerships that make a difference.
The RICO Office of Economic Development.
Mike King Biz, the social enterprise brand.
Girls for Change.
On a mission. Mike King Biz.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mike King here. This is part of the Mike King Biz Media Network, ESPN Richmond 106.1. We are in the Mike King Biz studio, which is the global epicenter of social enterprise business. Also, you can hear me on the breeze Sunday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. with Bud Myers, Bill Bevins, Elise Johnson. They're on the course. So you can check out the Breeze, vabreeze.com all the time. They're always there, as well as, all right, so Mike King here. Elizabeth is back. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
You are all in pink, and there's a reason for that. So tell folks who you are and what you do.
Yes, I work for the American Cancer Society, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, which is happening on Sunday. It's coming up on October the 15th at Libby Mill here in Richmond. So we'd love to have you all come and support ending breast cancer. We would love to do that.
Okay, so this is somebody who's going to be there.
Oh, yes.
Hi, I'm Reba Hollingsworth with CBS 6, and I was on the mic with Mike and had a fabulous time. Make sure you tune in every week.
All right, to talk about the importance of what's happening now. This is the 1 month, this isn't an event, but this is a year-round process that people need to worry about what's going on.
100%. Well, first of all, everybody needs to get screenings. Absolutely. Early detection and prevention is key. But also, it's really personal for me in particular because I am a caregiver of a breast cancer thriver, which means my mother will continually have to have treatment. And people like me all across the nation are fighting this through Making Strides Against Breast Cancer. And this one just happens to be the Richmond, Virginia event that I get all the honor because I love wearing pink, but it's for celebration and honor, memory, and just celebrating the small victories that we get through breast cancer research.
It is always a big event, but this time, this is even bigger than big.
Yes. So this year we have almost 1,500 people that have already registered. So that is fantastic because that helps us plan the event and know how many people to account for, which it usually does get around 2,000 to 3,000 people. And we are projecting about that many, at least probably up into 3,000 at this point, which will be an amazing walk because we have Chevy with their Pacer car, which Heather, as you know.
Shout out to good friend Heather Marie Speaks is out there.
Yep, she will be there. She will also be singing the national anthem with us. We will have a band in the area be, planned to uplift everybody, motivate everybody, be in there to support the cause. We also have food trucks and we have all kinds of entertainment for our DJ as well. So it's going to be a super fun time for an amazing reason because about 297,000 women and 2,800 men are going to be diagnosed with breast cancer just this year alone. So it affects about 1 in 8 women, and about every 2 minutes somebody hears those terrible words, you have breast cancer.
It is a devastating time, so you need to get checked. What's the time for that on Sunday again?
On Sunday, we start registration at 11 a.m. and the walk will start at noon. So you're going to want to get there before 11 for sure.
Okay, because it's going to be a good number of people.
Yeah.
So now when you were here before, people here at the American Cancer Society, they think, man, this is some big, humongous organization. And you're like, it's not.
Yes.
So you've been associated with them for a long time, but in different capacities.
That's right.
Like you said, you were one of the volunteers for a long time.
That's right.
So finally, you got a gig there. It works. It all works out great.
It does. It truly does. So I was a 28-year volunteer with the American Cancer Society because actually my mother worked and works still currently for the American Cancer
Really?
Society. Yeah, that's how I've been with them for so long, is because I started volunteering voluntolding
You
when I
were
was
voluntold.
a baby, when
Mom
I
was
was a
like,
kid.
let's go. You're hanging out with Mom.
Yeah, Mom.
Let me ask you a question that I thought about. Who takes care of the caregiver? Because the caregiver won't stop. The caregiver really has to take care. Somebody has to say, you got to go get checked. You got to take care of yourself. You got to do all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the conversation last week with the Pink Chair Project.
Mm-hmm.
Person's going in for a surgery. They are just worried about the family.
Right. I mean, you really and truly don't, you have to compartmentalize, because honestly, during that time, you're just trying to help the person going through cancer. And you're like this little army to protect and put a bubble around the person that has cancer, because they're going through everything. And you wish, at times I wished that I could just take it away from her, just not have her deal with that. I know that I prayed and thought positive thoughts all the time, that just give it to me. Put this on me. Don't give it to her, because this is not fair. She's such a good person and she's dealing with so much. So yeah, when you're dealing with so much, and then, during her time was the pandemic as well. So the medical
which made it
community
even hard. You're everywhere. We're not allowing people to go in together, and that's a support system. So how many people work for the American Cancer Society altogether?
Well, less than 4,000 people.
Okay.
And that's global.
That's around the world.
Enterprise-wide, yes.
And so now you guys, even something like this right here, it takes a lot of people to put this event on Sunday.
100%. And we cannot undervalue that, for sure. I'm glad that you asked that question, or said that statement, because the value of people's time and what they give to us in time is just, thank you is not enough, because we have to run these huge events like this. And we're so volunteer centric. I mean, we have about 1.6, I think was the last number that I saw, million volunteers with the American Cancer Society. So that is how it's run. That is how it's done. That's how the world, everybody cares so much. I mean, on my way here, I was talking to a volunteer about being on your show, and she says, "Oh, when I drive, I just started listening for him, because when I go to, I heard you talk about him the other day, and he was so fabulous. And when I was going to the gym and driving back, he talks about some really good things." But that's how the world. But volunteering is a big deal.
And you guys don't even have to go out and look for volunteers. People are attracted to the mission about what you're doing.
Right. We are so blessed with people that constantly reach out. If you or anybody is interested in assisting, we have multiple events that we could definitely plug people into, or just prep work or anything. I mean, you should see my office right now.
I can imagine.
It's to the roof. It's
a madhouse. So you're going 100 miles an hour.
Yes.
And then Sunday comes.
Yes.
And you have the event.
Yes.
And then Monday comes. It's not like, okay, we're done.
Right.
You're on to the next thing.
It would be awesome if we were done, because that means we have a cure, and our researchers who are Dr. Patel, just so smart. Our researchers through the American Cancer Society have actually had the honor of being on some virtual calls with them. And those people are just miraculous people. And it would be awesome if we didn't. But yes, it's an all year, all round. We don't just wear pink in October. We hit the ground all the time.
It's what you guys do.
It's what we do. And the reason we do what we do is because of things like this. I have a ring here that says caregiver. My mother has a ring that says victory. But we're never giving up until this circle. Actually, we encompass all the people. So you're in our circle now, because you're helping spread the word about something so important like this.
It's something. So I remember, one time when my wife went for the mammogram. Mm-hmm. And shout out, there's a group around here that's been on, they offer help for free mammograms for women.
Yeah,
and so a lot of times people don't know that there is help around to get that. So don't wait. And
don't wait. And we actually have a 24/7 support line that at any time, day or night, it doesn't matter. We have qualified people, patient support. We have just the most amazing people at our 1-800-227-2345 number. It's very important. And you can go to cancer.org. There's also a live chat. If you don't want to talk to people on the phone, you can also do a live chat with them 24/7 as well. So, because what happens is you go in, sometimes people are reluctant to go in, Right.
And then you get the call that says, hey, we need to talk. We need you to come back in.
Mm-hmm.
That period from when you got that call to going back in
Mm-hmm.
is a stressful period.
Oh my! You just really hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's the emotional roller coaster that you go through. I mean, the emotional toll is just staggering because you're waiting. You already know you have bad news, but you're waiting on potentially worse news, and that's what toils in your mind. And that journey is just something I wouldn't wish on anyone.
Okay, let's talk to the men out there.
Yeah,
Let's talk. It could be a man thing too. Let's
that's right.
drop some nuggets of knowledge on us there.
Yeah, so the 2,800 men will be diagnosed this year. So they definitely need to get, have a little self-check in the morning if you feel like something's not right. Some people think, oh, I thought I just worked out a little bit extra. Just always check with your doctor because you need to kind of do a self-check every month as well to make sure.
The one thing we do here is on the mic with Mike. Everybody goes all in on October, all the pink, and then November 1st hits.
Can we go back to
whatever
color we go to?
reality, what it is.
That's right.
But you guys are continually working because it's something that is important, that it needs to happen. So the American Cancer Society is always out there working. Yes. We had Dr. Winnan from Massey, and I asked him, I'm like, how did you guys find something for COVID so quick? And here we are still working, with cancer. And he says, hey, remember bird flu? And so he goes, that was a DV, that was close there. We found that. He said, but when we're not where we used to be 25 years ago with cancer. Mm-mm. And that's with all of the research. I mean, back when I was a kid, you didn't even say the word. It was just like, they got the seer. People started whispering.
Exactly.
Okay, we aren't even talking about it.
That's bad, yeah.
But now he says, early detection plays a part. Definitely you got to do it.
100%. Actually, Massive Cancer Center is a part of our event. And we also, as the American Cancer Society, do have some researchers over there that they have received funding from the American Cancer Society to do their good work. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you are right on it because that is, the work just never, ever stops. And because cancer never stops, and we hope that one day somebody will trip up on something or come up on something that they just unlocks the key to the whole thing.
So a person, okay, on the mic with Mike, we're here, we're talking Elizabeth, American Cancer Society. Somebody gets a word, they get a diagnosis. Mm-hmm. Their world just got turned upside down.
Yeah.
So what happens? Let's just talk about from where you see things.
Sure.
What needs to happen then from there for the mental part for them?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have that 24/7 support line, and sometimes people just call to just touch base because they don't know what resources are available. We have a vetted vendor list that we have that we can all the areas. We have it in this area in Chesterfield, we have it in Richmond City, we have it in Ranko. If you're wherever you are, they have a list of people that can support you, or they will just listen. There are times that our support techs just listen because, I've been through this with my mother, and I kept remember sitting there waiting on her and thinking, what if somebody doesn't have somebody like me around?
They went there by themselves, or they went there.
Yeah, they went there by themselves, or they have nobody to support them. We have the Road to Recovery. We drive people to their treatments.
Oh, that's you said that.
Yeah, we drive people to the treatments. We also have Hope Lodges. So my mom, she moved in with me here in Chesterfield. I live in Chesterfield County. She moved in with me. So did my dad, because my dad has had a kidney transplant. So anyhow, they moved in with me during the pandemic, and I took her to UVA Breast Cancer Center. And from the moment that she found out that she had cancer, that moment, you don't just know you have cancer and know what the action plan is, because you find out you have cancer, you have testing, biopsies, and maybe other screenings that you have to try to figure out what type, how, what stage is it in, what is your scores, what is this, what's your genetics. You may have to have genetic testing. So it was about a month. I mean, during the pandemic, because it was the pandemic, she had about a month of actual testing before she even got to treatment. So you can think of the toil in the mind, and you can think of let's start fighting this. Like, the urgency of trying to just get it out of me. Like, that type of feeling. So, and you're right, if she would have gotten she had stage 3 metastatic breast cancer that had already went into her lymph nodes, her lymphatic system. So, had she had this happen just maybe even 10 years ago, advancements in medical treatment due to research, like the researchers that we have at the American Cancer Society actually have helped with mammography. They have helped with various early detection and trying to prevent it from being such a terrible road. So my mom she had the worst chemo. She did not throw up, but had it been even 10 years ago, we would have been
Because that's all
a
you
different
heard.
story.
People are like, oh my goodness, I went and got chemo and I was growing up and all that. Like we've seen, Heather really has her journey. We've seen that journey. And to see her the other day, so shout out to Heather Marie Speaks, to stand up there and host that like she did and look like she did.
Like $1 million.
And all of a sudden you're like, okay, so there is hope. Yes. But we need to raise money for it. Mm-hmm. I always say changing the world ain't cheap, easy, or free.
No.
So money got to change hands somewhere. So what we're doing here is raising money, American Cancer. So let's get the particulars on the event again.
Yes. So you're going to want to go to Libby Mill, Midtown here in Richmond, October 15th, which is this Sunday. And it will be starting registration at 11. We'll be walking at noon. And you can always go to makingstrideswalk.org/Central VA. That is where all the information is, and event detail and map and all the things. So we would love for you to come. We would love for you to tell a friend and come out and support this amazing opportunity to make an impact on breast cancer.
There you go. Elizabeth, this year, how can people find you one last time?
They can find me at www.makingstrideswalk.org/Central VA. And all my contact information is on there.
Alrighty, on the mic, Mike, we got to go. This lady has stuff to do. The clock is ticking and it's going down, but a lot of great things happening. So Sunday, Libby Mill, she's there. Heather Marie Speaks is there. Reba's there, and a cast of thousands. On the mic, Mike, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks now.
Thank you.